Who?
Didn't we have EDP?
Did we have EDP on ever?
I don't think so.
Dang.
No.
Well, that would have been the one.
Yeah. Or Dr. Disrespect, of course. He's an aspiring pedo, not a practicing.
Yeah, you really.
I also don't think we've had him on, have we?
Oh, my bad. Am I mentioning that every show?
Every show you mentioned the doc being an aspiring pedo or something like that, allegedly, and I don't care for it. It's just taking that man's good name, running it through the gutter like that.
Kyle finds it to be bullying.
I think he's bullying him. Oh
yeah, I wonder if he likes it.
I
mean, he said he's not going anywhere.
He wears body armor. All right, that dude's 6'9", jacked as fuck, and he wears body armor. What are you gonna do when the?
It's not real body armor. That's like the kind of shit you put.
Gonna try to look young and get on his good side.
It's not real body armor. I can see it. I can see him wearing it right there. It exists in Tarkov. It
doesn't.
Yeah. Yes, it really does. It's red. And every now and then I'll kill something wearing the Dr. Disrespect armor, and I'm like.
this guy was paid for this armor, or
it's like it just appears in the game. It's like a streamer item. Yeah, I think the Doc's gonna return and be victorious because
you think so?
I really do. Yeah, he's gonna be streamer of the year again. He'll come back and do repeat. This is gonna be like when Jordan went and played baseball.
I don't think so. Not unless he comes out and is like, for an inexplicable reason, I've had solid evidence that these have all been lies, and I've kept it to myself. It's like.
Right.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
I think Jordan playing baseball is a little different from messaging underage girls.
Oh, that's because you don't know why Jordan was playing baseball. You know,
to get all those underage. He was with the Bat Boys.
I believe that's
holding up the doctor is the fact that no platform wants him.
He's going to have to create his own platform.
He'll probably lose a lot of viewership.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They'll take him over on Kick. There's a lot of weirdos over on Kick. Well, that's the thing. Like, unless it's like Dr. Disrespect or like one of these guys who becomes like a streamer, YouTuber, but Dr. Disrespect's not like a competitive gamer, right? Yeah, he's a pedophile. He's a competitive pedophile.
He's a competitive pedophile. He's trying to bang more children than all the
others. Positive he did nothing illegal.
He tried. Listen, Dr. Disrespect attacked me, my family, my kids at a time I did nothing to him. And now, and at the time, he was just jealous. He was trying to be Dr. Disrespect before he was. And then he became Dr. Disrespect. And then he became an aspiring pedophile. So I get to enjoy his downfall because he wanted mine. Fuck Dr. Disrespect. He's an aspiring pedophile, and I don't care what happens to him for the rest of his life. He could go to jail. I'm cool with it. He took shots at me when I never said a word about him. I said supportive shit about him. Fuck that guy. He tries to fuck children. That's all. I hope he goes to prison and gets ass raped.
Jeez.
Well, I'm telling you where I'm coming from. You know, he's talking about Colin. When Colin was like 12. Fuck Dr. Disrespect. And he's never done anything to change that standpoint. So that guy can suck my dick. Maybe
Taylor, imagine if he was wearing his blue shirt.
Oh damn! We need it. Can you run that back? Can we do? Can you go pop one of those blues on and come back?
Zach, poorly shop a blue scribbled on child done shirt on the Woody for that last. I don't know what I'll call that. Attack,
diatribe,
rant.
I think you gotta go hard.
Mood, so I don't want to.
It is a joy to watch people like that float down the river years later.
Damn.
Because they're scumbags, and they're gonna get what's coming to them.
I'm not sure what he did.
Okay, but he's like, isn't okay. The weirdest thing about that guy is he's got millions of dollars. He's got endorsements or whatever else, and a big scandal hits. And the scandal is like a really bad one, where it's like, really you're being accused of talking to minors in a sexual way. And you go, well, this guy's got a lot of money. He's not like a complete idiot. Clearly, he's going to go get a PR firm to figure out how to handle this crisis. And no, he sits down at his keyboard and he types out, was I talking to a minor individual in a sexual manner? Of course. Was I, perhaps going out there and talk? Yeah,
But the real question, do I regret it? No. Get fucked, everyone. I'm going to play COD again in a fucking silly, Spirit Halloween outfit.
Yeah.
Dr. Disrespect is fascinating because he's an example of a lot of rich guys who get rich doing stupid things think that they're smart. They think that because they made money, that means they're smarter than everybody else. And it's like, no, you appeal to dumb people because you're a dumb person. Okay, that doesn't mean you suddenly, I can do my own PR when I've been accused of messaging minors. I can handle that. I'm Dr. Disrespect. I'm the king of the world. It's like, no, you're a dummy. Go hire somebody to write a real response for you. That tweet was like the most ridiculous thing because he said, "We're not going anywhere, baby. We're not going anywhere." And then everybody was like, "Well, kind of sounds like you admitted to being a pedophile." He's like, "All right, I guess I am going somewhere. I'll be back later." So it didn't work out for him.
If it ends up being like a court situation, maybe he'll represent himself in the like Guy Beam will be in there and they'll be like, "Mr. Beam,
these are the guys who do represent.
I don't see an attorney here. Are you choosing to represent yourself?" And he's like, "No, and I need a bathroom break." And then he goes to the outfit and it's like, "I'm here to represent my client's fake mustache." Immediately held in contempt.
Are you a doctor or a lawyer? He like pulls up the sunglasses dramatically to reveal a second pair of sunglasses.
Who knew it took 40 minutes for him to do his hair? Like just waiting.
That's not a wig.
No.
It's just crazy because he had so many guys in his corner when he the first thing that came out was like, "Hey, I'm accusing you of this thing," and his response was, "Well, no wrongdoing was found." And I'm like, I think what you want to say there is I didn't message minors. Jesus. I don't think you want to say no wrongdoing was found.
Right?
Yeah. But he still had all these guys in his corner like, that could mean anything. Like, nothing happened. Like, he could have easily got out of that situation if he just said, "Listen, due to contractual whatever or confidential settlements, unfortunately, I can't speak to the specifics, but I want you guys to know that the allegations against me are wildly mischaracterized and out of proportion." He could have used all sorts of
you're better at this than he is.
Oh my God, dude. Every time one of these things happens, I go, if I could just start a YouTube PR firm, like it would be so easy because these guys are morons and their audiences are morons who will fall for anything. These allegations are exaggerated. They're wildly mischaracterized and being spread by bad faith actors. You guys know me. I'm a down-to-earth individual, and I would never wish harm upon anyone else. And I just hope we can move past this unpleasantness and get back to playing games because really it's about the games and the community and whatever.
It's about the games.
Put out anything like that. Instead, the first thing was, text them. What are you gonna do? And you're
I
like,
have a question for you, Vito. So we don't know how old the child he was trying to have sex with is.
Exactly.
If he or she was 17, would you bring that up?
Yes. That would have been another easy. If it's a 17-year-old, here's what you do. Here's the PR strategy. You go, "Listen, I'm a guy. I get a lot of messages, and I get a lot of messages from attractive girls. Let's be real. I'm Dr. Disrespect. I'm a good looking guy. And sometimes a girl might come into my DM. She starts sending me pictures. I might start flirting back. And then all of a sudden she drops on me, 'Hey, I'm 17 years old.' And then I cut off communication. I go, 'This is unacceptable.' And then let's be real. Everybody hates a slutty woman who's going around trying to ruin a good man in a marriage and sneaking into the DMs and sending naked. And if you saw pictures of titties, you're not putting an age. You don't know the titties. They're just titties. He would have gotten such an easy pass if he said it was just a 17-year-old who sent me messages out of the blue. But I don't think that's what happened. The fact that he didn't mention the age, because that's the opportunity to go, she was 17, which is actually legal in multiple parts of the country, whatever else.
And
there's a lot of ways out in the world. Yeah. If you're in Germany, it's like, who cares? 17-year-old, whatever.
What I would have done, I'd have been like, here's a list of the places, locales, nations, and areas where
I wouldn't have
what
done
I
that.
did.
That seems like you did a little too much research.
And guess where I'll be vacationing at this one.
God specializes in
if I go to the Saudi Emirates, I mean, this is like, okay, doctor, you got to dial it back. The fact
the wildlife in the Philippines.
I wonder how old the kid was. Like his supporters pretend that it was 17, and it's possible. All we know is under 18, which is illegal in California, where he tried to fuck that kid. But we don't know the real age.
If it was 17, that would be the first thing out of your mouth.
I can think of a lot of numbers under 18.
Well, not as many as you might imagine.
It's only 17.
I mean, I'm talking about decimals.
Okay, fine. You go, Nick. Touche.
Don't use decimals for age. Jesus Christ. That'd be all. Oh my God, how hilarious would that be?
She was 17.9.
She was 15 and a half. Okay, she was 15 and a half. Okay,
she was 14 and 3/4, and she doing that.
She skipped a grade, guys. Like, come on. She's
yeah.
This is an 8th grade intellect on a 7th grade girl. There's no problem there.
She's mature for her age. She's already reading.
I don't think it's a girl.
You don't think it was a girl?
I think it's maybe a trans girl or something like that.
There was a trans person who showed some DMs that Dr.
Yeah, he was gripping it.
Well,
boom.
You know, it seems like Woody knows more about Dr. Disrespect's masturbatory habits than he has any.
I read the text messages. Yeah,
Goodness
he was
gracious,
gripping it
Woody.
until
gripping it.
Is that what he said?
Did he ever refer to himself in the third person as the doc?
You're testing my memory. I'm not
now,
sure.
That's hilarious, Taylor.
The doc be gripping right now.
Look, like having the persona in public is funny, entertaining, and I like it. Like, so say what you want about the doc, his persona, and the whole idea of having persona. I like that idea. I did something similar. I think it's great. It's a way of distancing yourself and making light of certain things that you might say or do. If some redneck says they're going to blow up a truck, it's a little sketchy. You start thinking Timothy McVeigh. If Dmitry do it, it's good time. This is like that's what they do in Russia. You're like, oh yeah, in Russia they blow up trucks all the time. It's no biggie. Don't worry about where that ammonium nitrate's coming from.
It's not a big deal.
So I found it. Well, the trans girl was. Oh, Zach found it too. The trans girl sending him pictures, and he's like, "I'm gripping it now." Until boom.
Oh.
Should I let it go or hold on? That's not a Dr. Disrespect persona. That man should. Dr. Disrespect would take charge of his own orgasms. He wouldn't let a.
What is that reply? What is that reply? That's the least sexy reply ever. Nice firm grips. Yum.
Yeah, it's like he was texting me about this, and I'm like, oh yeah, nice.
Oh my god, man, farmer carries. This was about farmer carries. You're so wrong. But Doc is clearly getting workout advice from this trans woman who strips online and does sex work. And so he was doing farmer's carries. He'd been holding 100-pounders for quite some time. And when he dropped them, boom, they hit the floor. And that's what
true.
He was saying.
And we have to keep in mind, these are screenshots of a famous, huge content creator. Take it to the bank. True.
What I was going to say was his thing is nice firm handshakes. It's like one of his sort of catchphrases. That's Dr. Disrespect and the big firm handshake is a thing. So that's where the nice firm grip comes from. It's a reference to his persona.
Oh. Yeah, that was hilarious when Dr. Disrespect posted his yes I did text with minors in a sexual way. That guy, the quartering, his immediate response was firm handshakes, bro. And everyone's like, what the fuck? Did you read what he said? This is not the time to go, yeah, firm handshakes, man. Cool.
Yeah. This is not the time to read the first one line of a post and be like, I got to get in on it for the engagement. I'll wrap up reading this a bit later.
That Jeremy, the quartering guy, is so desperate for acceptance and clout from anybody else. He's like, yeah, man, cool. Hey, yeah. And you're like, dude, this is the time to back off this. You're picking the wrong team right now.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's.
Well, I hope he gets replatformed and he comes back and he sheds some light on all of this.
Well, he's not banned from YouTube, is he?
Just demonetized.
So
did he get demonetized?
You don't want to work for free. So it's going to be a while before he comes back if he's not getting paid, because it'll be big when he comes back.
Yeah, people want to see what.
I went to his subreddit a while back, or one of them. And there were still people in there. Well, I think most of the people in there are like, until I see the text messages, I'm with the doc. I need to see what he said before I can go against this guy who plays
it's just so games. Weird, the whole situation. Did you see when a guy had the president of Twitch or CEO or whatever on? This was 2 years ago. And he goes, hey, I do want to ask you, why was Dr. Disrespect banned? And then the CEO was like, well, the thing is, we found out Doc was communicating with aliens, and we had to put it. He was doing a bit, and you're like, bro, did you not think that years later when this came out, people were going to go, hey, there was child safety concerns on your platform, and you're making little jokes out of it? And it's kind of weird, the whole space that there's a lot of people who aren't treating this stuff seriously, who don't understand that you have a lot of these creators who, yes, have minor audiences that are watching them. And a lot of them just are not of the sane mind to go, oh, I should not be talking to minors in any way. I should not be making weird jokes with them. That's kind of what happened with Justin Roiland. I don't know if you remember when he was getting nailed, because when Rick and Morty got big, he had a bunch of fans show up and female fans. And a lot of people are saying, oh, he was sexing them. He was trying to have sex with them. I read those texts and I think it was more of a guy who's oh, hey, these are just my fans. I can make little stupid, sexual jokes and comments or whatever else. Nobody told me, dude, just don't talk to them. It's not
So he
useful.
wasn't trying to schedule a meetup at TwitchCon.
Exactly. Like Dr. Disrespect's supposedly what's being alleged was way worse than what Justin.
I think Justin
of.
Roiland. I don't know all the details of what he was accused of, but didn't a lot of it end up being like, "Oh, that didn't happen."
I thought he was
that.
exonerated
Right.
on the girlfriend beating stuff, but I think maybe she just said, "Nah, he didn't beat me up" after he gave her some money.
Yeah, the big news
No
story
idea.
was the reason all this stuff comes up is once you get hit with one thing, every guy who ever hated you for anything goes, "Oh, I always knew that was a bad guy," and they start telling extra stories or sharing texts. But the initial allegation was like girlfriend. It was like domestic abuse charges or whatever, and supposedly like false imprisonment, which can be like a girl being like, "I want to leave," and you slam the door. You're like, "You're not going anywhere," But everybody makes it. Everybody makes it, but everybody goes like, "Oh, he locked her in a cage and he beat her with a stick." And I'm like, no, they were probably having an argument and it got out of control. But anyway, the whole thing I think got tossed. I think there just wasn't, enough evidence. It was a he said,
He got
she
tossed.
said situation.
Now
he
they're
did got
not
tossed. Well, he lost everything.
He's still totally excised from the Rick and Morty.
Is he?
Of course he is. They hired a new guy.
Is he
That's
wealthy?
great.
Like
Well, he's definitely wealthy from, he had multiple. He has that show. He's got that Solar Opposite show. He's got that video game that came out. So he can ride it out. He'll make a comeback
there's new
at
voice
some
actors.
point.
They
got a new.
Like people think that, like I used to think this. I saw Baba Booey on the Howard Stern show get abused by everyone. I've talked about this before, and like 19-year-old me is like, for that kind of money, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care. I couldn't walk the streets without people saying Baba Booey to me. I wouldn't care. He has money. It turns out money doesn't completely insulate any feelings you might have. If there's like thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of people watching everything you do and finding things to dislike about it, it's hard on you. Like people aren't meant to be observed like that most anyway.
Very true.
Dude, that's why I'm so surprised we don't have more like crazy suicides with some of these like online cancel culture campaigns. I don't know if you guys saw that comic book artist who actually did kill himself because of some like completely bogus made up charges. There's this guy, Ed Piskor, and he was like a great guy. He had a YouTube channel just talking about comics. And at some point, this girl goes, "Oh, Ed Piskor is a creep. He was sliding into my DMs, inviting me to stay over or whatever else." And Ed Piskor was genuinely just like a nerdy guy who's like, "Yeah, if you're in town for the con and you need a place to crash, like you can crash at my house." You can make assumptions that like, "Oh, he was trying to bang that girl." But if you read the text messages, it really doesn't sound like that at all. It really sounds like he was just a comic creator she was like another comic like creator. He's like, "Yeah, if you're in town, like trying to do the con, I know hotels cost a shit ton. I have a spare bedroom or whatever." So it turned into this whole like crazy thing. And it got like again, just based on this girl's DMs, that the local news he had a gallery showing get canceled, and the local news showed up at his parents' house and they're like, "Do you know about these messages online?" You're like, what the fuck story is this? And the guy just went, and again, because comics, let's be real, is a space full of liberal SJW douchebags who are constantly crying about everything. They completely blew it out of proportion. They're like, "This guy, is going to prevent you from, he's going to say, give me a blowjob and I'll get you a publishing deal or whatever." Like all these made up shit. And he wrote a note and he's like, "You bullies win. I'm killing myself. Congratulations. Like I'm done."
Jesus. Is this a stand-up comic or a comic book guy?
Comic book guy. Yeah.
Okay.
And he had a great YouTube channel just talking about the history of comic books. He actually just won, posthumously. Is that how you say it? He won the Eisner Award for his book, and his whole family showed up to accept it. And the same cancel culture jackasses who were like spreading all these messages going, "We have to ban him from the..." This guy's whole life was comic books. And these guys were basically going to say, you're never going to make a comic book in this town again. We're going to make sure everybody knows you're like a sexual abuser based on these text messages that are nothing. And he said, "Well, if I can't make comic books, I don't care anymore. So I'm just going to kill myself." It was actually like a pretty, as far as suicides go, you go, yeah, that's a pretty badass suicide way to just be like, "Fuck it. I don't want to be on this planet anymore. You guys have ruined the only thing I love."
So what happened? How soon after he killed himself did the tune change in that?
Immediately, everybody was like, because at first everybody gets scared. They're like, "Well, I can't, come out." And everybody like quietly is like, "Well, I know it's not that bad, but I'll just wait for it to blow over. And I'm sure he's fine. And, it's not going to be a big deal." And the second he fucking kills himself, everyone goes, "Fuck, why didn't I say something? Why didn't I, come out?" even me, I didn't know the guy. And I remember it came out and I'm like, it's not really for me to get involved. I don't know the guy personally. And after he killed himself, I'm like, I should have just said like, this is bullshit, But you get because all the guys are out there on Twitter and they go, oh, what you're okay with like abuse and you abuse women, blah, blah, blah. You're a fucking pedophile. She was only 17. You're like, okay, I don't want the grief. Never mind. But yeah, it was just like one of these, and I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often. Ashton Kutcher's not coming in.
That's a shame. I feel like Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis got a hard time because they wrote that support letter for their rapist buddy.
Yeah.
But it's like, come on, man, that's their rapist buddy. They didn't write, hey, he didn't mean it. They just wrote the good things they knew about him. Like, hey, I don't know rapist Danny. I don't know that guy. I know generous, kind, well-meaning Danny who helped me when I had a flat tire. They wrote one of them letters and everybody was giving him a hard time. Meanwhile, I'm pretty sure Ashton Kutcher runs a whole like global charity to like help trafficked women. I think like that's like his thing.
Yeah, that's like his big thing now. He's running that charity. They made the wrong play. It was one of those things where if they just let it go.
Down. I want to say step down.
He may have stepped down from the board of that in light of his Danny Masterson support letter that he and
that's bizarre because that was one of those like flash in the pan fake cancellations where I'm like, this is going to be over in a week.
They had they made an apology video the first day.
They didn't need to do that. Yeah, they did
a full T Martin, dude. They're crying in front of a wall. They got a dog. Like it was classic. Let it
go by.
Yeah, you pull a syndicate, then it just goes away.
Step down. I'm reading it on the Wikipedia page.
That's a shame.
They should have done a Dr. Disrespect and said, "Did my buddy rape some women?" Sure. It's a bad you can say.
No, you should have tweeted and been like, vacation's too good. Ja. That's apparently what.
Where do you think he's vacationing? Like genuinely, where do you think the doc is? Like if you're a GeoGuessr, we're playing GeoGuessr, and you have to pick an area on the planet. Whoever's closest gets the cashola. Where are you throwing that pin down for the doc's locale?
Thailand.
Too easy.
Oh, well played.
I got the side or side.
Dude, he's stressed out. Where do you
brought the fam?
Right.
The man just needs a nightly massage.
No, he loves the nature there.
And a midday massage.
Sunsets in Thailand are wild, I'm told.
Yeah, not that he's seen.
What's sunset code for?
I just said that it wasn't code at all.
Child sex.
I literally meant like that when the sun goes down, it turns kind of orange and red.
That would be the problem being in Thailand.
I mean, I'm sure it's pretty there. It's probably pretty nice. They got monkeys.
I bet he's home.
Oceans.
That's my actual guess. Who wants it? What's it been? 6 weeks?
We'd had some sort of YouTube paparazzi out there, like scoping him out. Doc, what do you say about the allegations? And then flash bulbs going off like the 50s.
The wife probably already made peace with this years ago, right? She must.
I'm here to sissy hypno you, Doc.
I've wondered that too. Like the wife made peace with him stepping out of his marriage, but did she make peace with his attempted pedophile and masturbating to trannies?
Well, I mean, when he got banned from Twitch, do you think he gave her like a? Oh man, it's just like some shit, like. How do you hide that from your wife?
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't. Maybe she would. I'm not going to do that.
Maybe she was helping.
I'm not going to. Yeah, it's too clear that one.
Like, as far as I know, this thing about him trying to fuck children is new information to her from this year.
Oh, really?
Well, she probably. I would not imagine.
Every Jeffrey Epstein needs his guy slaying Maxwell, right?
You really don't think his wife needed
the other?
No, I bet she thought that he was trying to. Well,
That's
he
a
was
good fucking
successfully fucking other adults. I don't think she knew about the children.